Ritual has kicked off their annual High Standard Sale, and you don't want to miss these deals on clean, science-backed pregnancy supplements. When it comes to your pregnancy journey, you deserve support you can trust. And Ritual is on a mission to prove that when the stakes are high, their standards are higher. And there's no better proof than their prenatal multivitamin, the only leading prenatal backed by its own human clinical trial. But it doesn't end there. The sale covers their entire site, so you can add in natal choline or their plant-based protein to really upgrade your mom-to-baby support. Find your Ritual and check out their full lineup to save 40% off your first month at ritual.com/high standards. That's ritual.com/high standards. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Well, first of all, so I assume anyone who is consuming this content has seen what happened, knows the story. So we probably don't have to go through the entire story. But I'm very curious. I believe that, so first of all, Rajah Jackson has not been arrested, correct? Unless something has changed.
No, he has not.
Which is shocking to me. Which is shocking to me.
Look, I'm not. And here's why. This is going to be very, very, very tough for charges to stick on him.
You think so?
I do. And here is why. Because you're going to be circumventing what happens in a show with legal action. And I guarantee you, the DA that has this case more than likely knows nothing about professional wrestling.
Right.
More than likely has no idea about terms like work, shoot, receipt, none of that. I guarantee you they're looking at the first way to say, oh, it was a part of the show. No charges.
I think that I disagree, and here's why. You've got all this video leading up to, and I know some of the video is these morons at this promotion who were, I mean, everybody involved in this looks really bad leading up to what happened. But there's also all this video because Rajah Jackson was streaming this on Kick. There's all this video of him talking about, I'm going to kick his ass. I'm going to get on him. I'm going to start punching. I'm not going to stop. He's getting ginned up by everybody in his little Kick stream, encouraging him to beat the shit out of the guy. At one point, he hears from his dad, or maybe at multiple points, he hears from his dad, Rampage Jackson, who's telling him, oh, you look like a bitch. You let a professional wrestler do that to you, this and that. So I think there's a lot there that shows premeditation. And if the DA looks at that video, he's going to see Rajah Jackson on top of an unconscious man repeatedly striking him in the head. I don't see how they can not charge him with, and I will say this, attempted murder. I believe he should be charged with attempted murder. That's my position.
I think that's a bit steep.
I'll tell you why I think that. You know why I think that? Because I was thinking about this. Okay.
I think it's felonious assault.
Right. I had this, I went through this in my own brain trying to figure that out for myself. The conclusion that I arrived at is it's attempted murder. And this is my logic. Because if no one had pulled him off, and they were slow in doing so, right? But if no one had intervened and he had just continued to strike him, which he was not going to stop unless someone intervened, no doubt in my mind, Psycho Stu would be dead. He was on his way to killing him. And that is why, in my mind, it absolutely is attempted murder. If no one had intervened, he would have killed him. There's not a single doubt in my mind. Psycho Stu would be dead. That Rajah Jackson would have murdered him right in front of everybody. So I think it's attempted murder. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. You make a lot of great points, Matt. Here's one thing that you missed.
Mm-hmm.
There is an argument, and it's a very valid one. If Rajah Jackson's legal team wants to make it,
mm-hmm.
What mental state was Raja Jackson in? Raja Jackson, it's documented, had a concussion
Sure.
when this occurred. When you are concussed, you do not act rationally.
Right.
You can have sudden mood swings. You can have various issues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, does this excuse what he did? No. The videos prove that he was cognizant of what was going on and what he was doing.
Right.
But I think that the concussion, you also have to prove that the concussion had nothing to do with his actions. And I think that's very hard to do, because any doctor is going to say, and I can tell by your look, you don't like it, but you have to agree it's a valid point. Any doctor is going to say, yes, his behavior could have been a result of a concussion.
Here's where I disagree. I mean, I think that's probably the defense's best shot. I think that would be their best defense. And I understand.
There's
what you're
also another defense that you were missing out on here.
Well, we can get to that one, but let me just say about this. I think that's probably his best defense. But the thing is, though, where I disagree, and neither of us are lawyers, and so I don't claim to know a lot about the law. But I'm skeptical. You said that in order for them to prove intent to murder, they have to prove that the concussion had nothing to do with this. I think the burden of proof, I would tend to shift the burden of proof. I think that I think it would have to be more the other way. They would have to the defense would have to prove. I mean, they'd have to get some experts in there who are willing to say, yes, the concussion may have caused him to strike this man in the face more than an unconscious man in the face more than 20 times. I disagree with where you're placing the burden of proof, I think is what I'm trying to say.
And I get that. I'm saying that not the action, not the assault.
Yeah.
I think what they should try to do is you just have to put a reasonable doubt into the jury. You don't have to prove your case. If you have enough evidence that you can say Raja Jackson had a concussion, that's already been proven. Concussions can cause erratic behavior, sudden mood swings, violent outbursts. That's already been proven. Now, can you tie a concussion to Raja Jackson? That's going to be up to them to do. And I think the other thing you're forgetting is the intoxication aspect. Psycho Stu, it is heavily rumored, all the workers were drinking before the show.
Oh, that's not rumored. They're on video. They're hanging out, having some beers. Yeah. Oh no!
Now
they're all irresponsible idiots. All these people. I'm not debating that at all. Yeah.
Now, with that being said, that also has to be looked at and considered. Was Raja Jackson intoxicated? Now we're getting into, if you already have a concussion and you're drinking, what does that do? What's it do when the boss, the promoter of Knockax is on tape saying, really lay into him, really give it to him, get your receipt?
Yeah.
And that's the guy who's running the show.
Oh yeah. Oh, everybody. There's a lot of blame to go around. Yeah.
And I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general, people just want to put this all at Raja Jackson's feet.
Oh no,
And
a lot of people are defending him. I mean, hell, Mark Henry blamed it all on Psycho Stu.
Defending him. Like Mark Henry, Rob Van Dam, and Chael Sonnen are idiots for blindly defending Raja Jackson. What he did was inexcusable. But I'm also going to say, if you watch the footage, and when I first watched the footage, I don't know why I noticed this, but my attention goes to it every time. When you watch the footage, watch Raja Jackson. He gets in the ring and pauses briefly and looks around. Not just looks at Psycho Stu, looks around.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that he was looking, is everyone in their spots? Is everyone where they said they were going to be when this goes down?
Okay.
And so they can pull me off.